Last class we discussed about input output operations to read and write characters from and to data files. We saw that putc is a library function provided by the C language for writing a character into a data file, and we have seen getC as a file operation to read a character from a data file. And today we are going to see how we can utilize the formatted input output operations fscanf and fprintf for reading and writing data when a C program is using files for data storage. So, the topic for today is formatted input output operations on data files. If you recall, we have files stored permanently on the secondary storage of the computer, and if you want to perform an operation on an existing file or access an existing file, you have to open that file using the function called fopen, and you can process it using various functions provided by the C language, and finally you can close it. Until now we learned about all these functions, and today we are going to discuss about two formatted input output operations. This is for output and this is for input when we use files for data storage in a C program. Now we can start with the formatted output operation, which can be used to output or store any kind of data into a data file. And fprintf is exactly like printf function. The only difference is that printf will display on the screen on the standard display device, whereas fprintf is going to display or write into a file. So, this is a function to write data to a file. We can try to understand how is it working using an example, and in the examples today we will also see how we can use pointer to a structure variable. That is another programming aspect that we are going to discuss along with these IO operations on files. So, here we have defined two structure in C. One is a student data structure with attributes roll number, name and date of birth, where date of birth is declared as an instance of another structure, date, which is defined here. A date is defined by day, month and year. This is exactly the same example that we discussed when we discussed about structure. Now look at an application program, a main function which uses this structure. Please don't get worried about this function now. I am going to tell you by simulating the execution what exactly this function is doing. Note that first we are declaring a file handle from the previous 2 lectures you know why we need a file handle. You can open a file and the handle can be cached, can be caught in this pointer variable, and then you are declaring a variable of the structure student. So you will be getting a variable of that kind. You can depict it like this. This is the variable S. It is having 5 fields: roll number, name, date of birth, which again is composed of day, month and year. So that is the composition. So a variable is declared. And what is the next statement? It is an open statement. A file, you are going to open a file in the write mode. That means you are going to create a new file, namely file2.txt. If you execute, a new file will be created in the secondary storage, and now the content is empty. And proceed. Next is a printf statement. So this message will be displayed on the screen. Enter the number of students. Say you are going to process the data of a number of students. So the number of students should be given as input. Proceeding to the next, it is a scanf statement. So until the user gives a number, the program waits for the user to give a number. Suppose the user gives 2. 2 is taken into the variable n. I am showing it like this just for simplicity. N is having 2. Proceeding down. Now another variable I, assumed to be of unsigned, somewhere declared here, is getting a value 0. If you execute it, you will get I value as 0. Yes. Now proceeding down. Now what is the value of I? 0, which is less than 2. So the check evaluates to true. So you are proceeding down to the first statement of the loop. It is a function called read student from user, and note that here you are passing the address of this structure variable as an argument, because I want to read the components in this function and I want to get it reflected here, and that is why I am passing the address. So if you go to that function, this will be caught in a pointer to that structure. So now we can jump to that function. So this is that function, read student from user. You are getting an address of a structure variable of this kind. So you declared a pointer, ptrs. What is ptrs? It receives the address of a structure variable into a pointer variable ptrs. So whatever be the address of that structure variable, you are getting it in this pointer variable. So ptrs is pointing to that structure. And now I am going to tell you, if you are having a pointer to a structure, then how the components of this structure can be accessed. This is how you can access a component or a field in the structure. Suppose f is a field in a structure and ptrs is pointing to that structure variable, then rather than using dot as the member access operator, you can use this arrow, ptrs arrow f. It's a hyphen and a greater than symbol. So this is how you access the field of a structure using the pointer to that structure variable. Okay, when compared to the access of fields that we discussed when we discussed about structure, the only difference here is that now you are going to access it using a pointer to the structure variable, and this is the member access operator when this is a pointer. So it comes to the first statement. What is it? It's a display statement. So that message is getting displayed. It is asking the user to enter roll number, name and date of birth. Date of birth in this format, ddmm YYYY. Then it proceeds down. It's a scanf statement, and what is it reading? It's reading a number. And not that, now this is how you access the roll number field, because it's a pointer, this is the member access operator. Now the address of that field needs to be passed into the scanf function. So until the user gives a number, it waits. Suppose the user gives this as input, 1 AB Philip 24/2/2002. Now the roll number field, that is 1, will be taken into the roll number field of the structure, that is this field. So if you progress, you will get 1 stored here, and proceeding down, and what is it saying? Until you see a comma, read all the characters and store it in the name field. So until the comma, AB Philip will be taken and stored here in the name field. Proceeding down, and here I assume that you remember the data suppression operator minus. If you give minus here, this minus will be suppressed. Okay, that was discussed in the beginning of this course. Anyway, it is reading the date into this day field, then month and year likewise. If you progress, you will read it like this. And now you know that by using the pointer, you have actually stored all these values in the memory, which is accessible to the main function. So if you return to the main, you came back, you see that whatever value you read in this function is accessible from here. Okay, going down, this is another function call, and what you do here, you are going to write it into a file where we are going to use fprintf. Okay, and not that here I just want to write, I don't want to change the content of this structure, and that is why I am not passing the address. I am just passing the variable by value mechanism and the pointer to the file. So I am getting that variable here in capital S and the file handle in fptr. Moving down, and note that here for the first time we are using fprintf statement, and the only difference when compared to printf is that here, in addition to the other two arguments that you want to have in a printf, as the first argument, which is extra, you are passing the file handle. Okay, that is only difference. Otherwise, it is the control string followed by whatever you know about the printf. This is the only change. So here what you are saying is write the roll number, which is 1, into this file. If you execute it, you are printing it. Not only the roll number, a comma is also printed and a space is printed. Coming down, in this case you are going to print the name field, which is AB Philip, after this comma here. Yeah, not that a comma is also printed and a space after that. And coming to the last statement, you are printing 24-2-2002 into this file after this. So this is exactly what we wanted, and you finished executing that function and going back. Coming down to I++, I is now 0, will be incremented to 1 if you execute, yes. Going back to the condition checking, now value of I 1, which is less than 2, again true. Coming down, now assume that the function is executed and you are getting this new value for the next student. Okay, you are coming down and you are going to write these values into the file. So you will do it like this. Coming down, I will be incremented, now it is 1, 1 to 2, and going back to the loop checking. Now 2 is not less than 2, so condition check fails. So you are coming out of the loop. Now note that this is the function to close that opened file. So if you execute it, it's just fclose of that file handle. Then you are closing it, so the file is permanently residing in the storage. So you can open it later and access those values. So that is fprintf. Now we can formally look at the syntax of this. So this is the syntax. The only difference is this. these two are same as that of printf. As the first extra argument, you are passing the file handle. This is the only difference. And rather than displaying it on the standard output device, which is screen or monitor, it will be printed to the file. So that is basically the difference. And not that, we have also looked at how a structure variable can be passed by reference or pointer. Now we are going to see the opposite operation, that is reading from a file using fscanf. So it is a function to read data from a file. We will be looking at the same file that we created as an example. Here is the same structure, and this function we will see when we try to simulate it. It is declaring a file handle, and also it is declaring a structure variable. It is getting an object like this, then it is opening that file. Assume that this is the content of the file at the time of opening it. Moving down to the infinite loop, because it is 1, there is a break. Until this break is executed, the loop will go. Okay, so what do? You are reading data from the file. Not that here you are passing the address of the structure, because you want to read data into this structure variable. You want to get it accessible to this function, and that is why I am passing the address of the structure variable. Also the file handle is passed. Jump on to that function, you got into this, a pointer to the structure. This is the pointer to that structure. Exactly the same structure variable is now shared between main and this function, and you are also getting the handle to this file. Coming to the first statement, which is fscanf. This is for the first time we are using it. And here again the only difference is the first argument, which is extra pointer representing the file handle. Otherwise it is very same as that of scanf. I think now no need to explain, because you know that this is the member access operator. You are passing the address, so you are reading a number from the file. The first number will be read, and so that is already stored here. So before that nothing was here, you read it into the first field, because this is the first field. Moving down, next you are reading characters until you see this comma into the name field. If you read it, you will get it like this. Then next you are reading 24 into this field, 2 into this field, and 2002 into the last field by using this data separation. Okay, so here you are reading from the file, that is why the file handle is passed and scanf is used instead of scanf. If you read, you will get this. You finish, then going back, not that whatever you read there is assigned into the structure variable of main function. Now moving down, it is a printf. I am just printing this on the screen, so I will get it printed. Now moving down, checking whether the roll number is 2 or not. Now the roll number is 1, so the check fails. So going back to the loop again, it reads the next student. So this will be getting stored in the structure variable. Exactly, this is getting stored. And now moving down, so whatever is here will be printed. And coming down, now see, roll number is 2. According to this, the check is validated, and so this break is going to be executed. So now it's a close function. The file is going to be closed, is residing in the permanent storage, and you are finishing that program. And with this I hope you got what is printf and what is scanf. And now we can look at the formal syntax. So this is the syntax. When compared to the scanf, the only addition is this argument, otherwise it is same. So this is the file handle. So with this we are finishing this lecture, and today we have seen formatted input output operations using fscanf and fprintf. We have also seen how we can pass the address of a structure variable, and then how will you access that structure variable using a formal pointer variable in the called function. Okay, and we will be finishing our course with the next lecture, where we can discuss about unformatted input output operations on data files in C. Thank you.